A lot of you guys are not being tracked. And one of the things that we do in our classes is we put you on camera every time that you open your mouth in front of a live audience, which, by the way, will be 3 to 4 times per class. It's an intensive. This is not the kind of program where you're sitting down like today, taking a lot of notes. This is the kind of program where you're going to be speaking 3 to 4 times per class, and not a quick little 2-minute drill. You're going to be up there. You're going to be in the pool. Oh, you'll learn to swim in the class. You might not learn it today, but you'll learn to swim in the class. And so we put that social pressure, because in the real world, you're going to have social pressure on you. People are going to ask you questions and give you all these curveballs and throw you off. How are you going to respond? Well, we simulate that inside the class. And then we videotape it. So you can see, how did I come across when there was all these people and this is what happened and I felt... You ever felt that before? You're going to feel that in the class. If you decide to go a little bit further, you're going to feel that. But you know what? You're also going to know that you have real practical strategies to deal with it. And then you'll be surprised when you watch the video, man, there's a lot of things I'm doing good. There's some things also I got to stop doing. Some things I got to keep doing. Some things I got to start doing. Some things I got to stop doing. And the coach is going to tell me that. But the video is also going to tell me that. So I believe that mentorship is the highest form of knowledge, like we talked about earlier. There are certain things you just can't learn through a book or through a series of videos. There are certain things that you have to be in an environment to actually learn it. Do you think you could learn how to dance just by getting an online course and watching 12 modules? How about martial art? You think you can learn that just by watching a lot of videos? How about if you practice? How about if you want to learn martial arts and you practice on your own in the living room? How about if you practice every day? You think you can learn it? You think you'll learn it? Absolutely not. In my opinion, if you're practicing just by yourself in the living room, you think you can learn martial arts? You think you get a black belt by yourself in the living room? Guys, you might get something. I'm not saying you won't learn nothing. I'm not saying that, but like, I don't think so, guys. Because here's the thing, sometimes we're even learning the wrong things when we're doing it by ourselves. We're reinforcing bad habits. We're like, yeah, I'm doing this right, but like the whole time, you forgot to bring your hand back, like hand down, man down. And you're conditioning yourself, like, you know, you're just like reinforcing the bad habit. And I'm not saying that you won't learn a few things, especially with YouTube, but come on, guys. I want to see y'all in the UFC, in the octagon. It's not going to be pretty. For the person that did all their martial arts training in the living room, it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty, okay? So you can learn a few things. You can learn a few things. Now, that's just my belief. If you think you can, you're like, hey, that's what I believe. I think you have to be in an environment where you really put yourself in a place where you can get that mentorship, get a trained eye to give you that feedback. And that's kind of my calling of arms for you guys this morning, is to really get more feedback in your life. We're not getting enough feedback frequently enough. So some of you guys, you want to create more content. But the problem is you're trying to create content. And what I want you to start thinking about is documenting your life, not creating it. I got to document, not create. So imagine, whatever I'm doing, all I got to do is put the camera on. Everything that you're doing, you're going to play golf? You're going to do some workout, whatever it is that you want to do. You do it, but you do it with the camera on. And now when we use AI, we can clip a lot of this footage, and then we got more content out there. Who here thinks if you have more content, it'll probably be good for you, for your personal brand? Anybody? In my life, anytime I got a lot of information, it didn't really create a lasting change. So if we want to get the transformation, we want to create an experience. And one of the ways that we do that for people is we give people an access to a 12-month program where they have in-person half-day trainings every single week. Every other Thursday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Mansell location in Alpharetta. Every other Saturday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at this location right here. and it's a 360 public speaking program that covers everything from pitches to keynotes to speak to sell talks to content creation to how exactly should I structure my keynote, to the delivery, because most of the important aspects of public speaking is how you say it, not just what you say, although they both matter. It covers the mindset, and we practice different things that are real for you. So if you bring something to the table like, hey, can we work on social skills? Because I'm gonna go to this network event and I just don't want to be basic where, hey, yeah, have you ever been here before? Cool, yeah, so like, do you like the speaker? Like, yeah, you know, it just seems basic. Like, I wonder if I can get a little more advanced with my networking. So it's one thing to get the information, but can I actually practice it at the next session, at the next class? Can we workshop it, like when it's my turn, in front of the camera, in front of real people? Can we do like an acting class simulation? How about, I got a presentation coming up, for my clients. How about, you bring your whole entire PowerPoint, you bring everything to the table and we workshop it, right? What about podcast? Can we simulate a podcast? Because I think I want to be on more podcasts. Or what about strategy? How do I get more clients? How do I infiltrate, the corporate client arena? How do I do this? Can we workshop that? And so the answer is yes, we can literally work on everything inside the program. And again, it's very, very interactive. It'll have you guys speaking several times at every single class. And there's gonna be times when you come up here and you'll be speaking for 30 minutes off the dome. Like, hold on, wait, but I'm gonna show you. Did I show you ways to kind of like remember the 4 points? And then also support it with evidence. I broke it all down, right? I broke it all down. Now let's try observational story. So I'm gonna show you guys how to have endless content for days and days and days and days and days without any prep at all. It'll just flow out of you. It's like the Energizer Bunny. You have an abundance of content, of things to say. How many people think that will reduce your speech prep time if you always had things to say and it's not random like gibberish, like you actually have some good points? Who thinks that would be a useful skill to have right now in the age of AI, to have an abundance of content that actually hits home like a hammer? Anybody would want to have that skill? Do you think it'll reduce your prep time? If you don't always have to go to ChatGPT and then by the time you go in the kitchen, oh, I already forgot what it said, your brain is already spinning? Wouldn't it be awesome if y'all actually had that in you like a well? Did you know that you've been collecting data and content since the age of 3? Every single one of us. You've been collecting that data. Think about how many TV shows, podcasts, conversations, books, articles, and different ways that you came across stimulus in the last week alone. Imagine since the age of 3, like you've been collecting like a little squirrel. The problem is we have a scotoma. Who knows what a scotoma means? It's a mental block. It's keeping you from having access to all this brilliant content. Like right now, if we watched a 90-minute seminar or a 90-minute podcast on YouTube, a lot of you would forget a lot of that information. What if we actually can improve our retention so that things get sticky like a tape recorder? Who thinks that would be a useful skill? How would you use that? If you're able to watch a podcast and retain a lot of the examples and the talking points from just listening or watching that podcast, how would that be beneficial in your life? One of the things that is going to separate you from everybody else when almost everything will be automated in the era of AI is the ability to learn faster. And that's one of the things that we focus on inside the program. To be able to get exposed to content and get sticky with it. Have it reverberate in the auditorium of our mind, and so we can paraphrase a lot of it. If you had the ability to just watch a podcast and retain a lot of that information, do you think you would come across more interesting? I'm gonna keep it real with you guys here this morning, okay? A lot of you to be perceived as more interesting, more charismatic, more interesting to listen to. You got tidbits of info. You sound smart, you sound articulate. You got a lot of stuff in the dome, right? So it's not just in the corporate life that it would help us. Imagine if you're on a date, or imagine if you're at a network event and it's like, man, this person is intelligent. They got all this like stuff, all these factoids in their brain, examples, analogies. Come on, guys, let's keep it real. Who wouldn't like that? That's one of the things that our program helps you to do. To remove that scotoma so that you get exposed to content and start retaining a lot of it. A lot of it. Because what happens when you walk around with zero self-consciousness, you become so present to where things just stick to you like a tape recorder. It gets locked in your brain. And then you're able to just spit it out whenever you need to. At an interview, on a date, if you're at a, maybe, let's also keep it real. How about just friends, social circle? Wouldn't you like to have a little more depth to the conversations, the answers, when you share a story, to just have like all these different ways of hitting home a point? That would be impressive. You don't think your friends would kind of look at you like with more favorable eyes? Just that alone, that skill alone of having the gift of the gab, as they say. How many people would like to have that? That's one of the things our program helps you to do. What I realized in 2012 is that's a learnable skill. So it's not the corporate presentation like today I'm gonna do a PowerPoint on you. It's like we go super deep, 360 speaking arena. Everything from social skills to being able to speak to influence, to engaging an audience, it's all covered. Okay, so you might be saying, okay, I got it. How much is it? So you said it's a 12-month access, in-person classes. What are we talking about? What's the investment? Okay. Before I tell you guys the investment, how much would it be worth to you if you had that level 10 confidence from here on out for the rest of your life? What kind of price would you put on it? Do you think it could lead to a promotion if you had supreme confidence and you were super interesting and you just had a lot of charisma? Do you think it might lead to a promotion in your life? Do you think your mindset would be different? You would go for more. We just had a gentleman get a promotion that quadrupled his salary a couple weeks into the program. Boom, he just got bumped up. We had a lady that starts putting on her own seminars, and then she just made $10,000 from her first seminar. Right here on Ashford Dunwoody, free room, we show you how to do it. Free traffic that's all qualified, they're interested in your topic, and how to get the butts in the seats. We try to keep it to a small group here this morning because I want to make it interactive. Plus the program that I have, I don't want to pack it like sardines, because this is the kind of program you'll be speaking a lot. So can you imagine if I had everything full, I can't give people that much speaking time. So I'm gonna give you a lot of speaking time because I know that that's the real way to develop. I mean, yeah, you could take more notes, but you won't get the benefit. So in order for you to get the benefit, you gotta have the speaking time. And I'm gonna give you that. A lot of coaches don't give you that. They give you a little, but I'll give you a lot of speaking time, a lot of air time. Like, oh my God, I'm on the show again I'm the star of the show. I came to another class. So how much, what would it be worth if literally as a result of signing up for this program, you put on your own workshop and all of a sudden, boom, your first one, you just made 5K. And then you did it again and again and again. I'm just saying, like, we're talking about investment management, we're talking about ROI here. It's a no-brainer. Like, this should be something to where whatever you paid on that weekend getaway, or that Gucci bag, that new car stereo, or things that kind of, you bought it, that red light therapy machine, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's collecting dust now. And then that becomes a liability. But the one thing that will actually be an ROI for the rest of your life, literally from now until you die, is the ability to speak with power, with charisma and influence. And 93% of the population has quirks and issues around public speaking. Yet only 7% do something about it. Mind-boggling. The one thing that will give you the unlock to your money, to your network, to influence, to all these awesome things in your life, most people just, no, I just let me get the liabilities. Let me get on that trip. It's mind-boggling. Can't figure out. And part of the reason, I think people just don't know. They've tried different programs, it didn't work. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is my personality. I don't know. Maybe this is how I am. And that was my story for many, many years. And whenever I changed that, and I realized that, oh man, this is not true. For decades I believed that, and I acted like that. But then I was able to create these unlocks. I was like, oh my God, I have a business here. And then I started Atlanta Public Speaking. That's why this is very, very different than any other corporate cookie cutter program.